All right, we're gonna talk about psilocybin mushrooms, and I mean, can't you guys see every time I mention psilocybin mushrooms, there's like a big smile and a giggle on my face and in my belly, because I love these things, okay? And one of the things that always happens when you first eat mushrooms is you start to giggle. It's like you're in the presence of these hilarious beings that are teaching you in a very hilarious way. So I have a very special place for psilocybin mushrooms and all the entities that come and talk to me whenever I eat these psilocybin mushrooms. And what I was thinking about the other day, if you look at nature, if you observe nature, everything in nature has a purpose. I like the saying, nature abhors vacuum, meaning nature will take anything and make use of it. And there is a purpose to it. Now, when I say purpose, I'm not talking about, like nature is trying to eradicate all all evil doings. I'm not talking about that kind of purpose in our human sense. I'm talking about evolution, and even science agrees with you that what nature is doing is evolving. It's just making a better version of itself. If we step back so far and we look at what nature is doing, nature is just creating a better product of itself over and over and over and over and over. And that's what evolution is. Science agrees with it, right? And this is on a physical level. But as above, so below. The reason why this physically keeps trying to improve itself, because we are, as consciousness, are trying to evolve ourselves. The evolution of consciousness is really where it's at. The physical follows. So everything evolves, you see? And everything, therefore, in nature serves that purpose of evolution. And really, everything in nature serves a purpose. It's as simple as when your body dies, it decomposes back to the earth, the minerals are used, everything else is used up to create new life. And so it really is as simple as that. Nothing goes to waste. Nothing goes to waste in this matrix. Nothing goes to waste in this system, in this simulation. The simulation, it works in such a way, it's simulated in such a way. Take everything in here within the simulation, make use of it, create a better product. Evolution, 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 evolution. So now, I was thinking about that. I was like, okay, then everything serves a purpose, clearly. Then there is these naturally growing, psychoactive mushrooms. And guess what? They grow in a wide range of climates, and they just pop out of the earth. They grow on cow shit, right? They just grow, man. You're here in Canada, apparently you can go to Prince Edward Island and just pick them up in the fall season. And it's amazing how the wide climates that psychoactive fungus grow on in the wide range of landscape. And they just grow. Like, they just fucking grow. Okay. And you eat them. And you eat them. And then and then some fucked up shit starts happening. Your consciousness is completely tuned in a different way. Right? I mean, look. These mushrooms aren't giving... They're not a great deal of calories to anybody. I don't even think any life, like, I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be sustained on mushrooms, like, as a human, right? But I'm also looking at other organisms here. Maybe some organisms can make use of the mushroom and it can provide them with, adequate calories. But for the most part, I mean, they have very little calories. So, they're not providing you with all that much calories. They have some minerals, mushrooms in general. They have minerals, they have a lot of, antioxidants, etc. But that's non-psychoactive mushrooms. I'm talking about the psychoactive mushrooms. What is the purpose of a psychoactive mushroom? What is the purpose of it? Why is this growing? Why is it that when a human being eats this, their consciousness completely changes? Like, why? What is the purpose of this? I mean, it's not really serving any other purpose. Please enlighten me if it's serving any other purpose. Please, I'm a dumbass, right? I'm just, I talk of my limited knowledge. But as far as I'm concerned, as far as I see, as far as I'm understanding here, I'm not seeing any other purpose for these psychoactive mushrooms. So then, that leads me to the conclusion that the purpose of these psychoactive mushrooms is to evolve consciousness. And they are there deliberately because we are inside someone else's simulation. Call that the God consciousness. Call that the force, the spirit, the divine. But, everything here serves a purpose. And I like that quote that I keep repeating over and over from Bill Hicks: we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively, right? So, then, the God consciousness, when this simulation was created and divided itself to experience itself in all these little things, wanted a way out. It didn't want to completely forget that it's one. You see, it wanted to experience subjectivity, experience itself as rocks, experiencing itself as trees, as mushrooms, as apes and humans and aliens. All of it is all God. It's all God. The whole bit of it is God. Evil and good and all these characters, and it's all God. But it didn't want to forget where it came from. It eventually wanted to finish the game and go back home. So, here comes the simulation, and in the form of a mushroom, I, God consciousness, shall remember who I am, where I came from, and I shall remember what I did, and I shall remember that this is a game that I've created for myself to experience subjectivity, and most importantly, I shall remember who I am. I shall remember I am love. I am love. And this just makes sense to me, that this is the purpose of the psilocybin mushrooms. This is the purpose of these psychoactive mushrooms. The purpose of these psychoactive mushrooms is for the consciousness, the evolution of consciousness. And they're there deliberately by design, not by accident, by design. Because, again, you can completely get lost and totally forget who you are, and totally forget that you are one as a God consciousness, and totally get so ingrained in this game, experiencing yourself subjectively in all these life forms and all these things, and you can easily forget who you are, and you can easily forget love, and you can easily forget, oh shit, I'm playing a game with myself here. So then you would want to have something there to remind you, and so you would simulate this fungus that can grow pretty easily and grows in naturally by itself in a wide range of landscapes and environments and climates. This is why so many people have had contact with these psychoactive mushrooms, not necessarily psilocybin, there's other psychoactive mushrooms as well, but there's psychoactive mushrooms that grow almost everywhere. So this is why, you had people in so many different varying climates having similar experiences and similar accounts because of the psychoactive fungus, the psychoactive mushrooms. And yeah, it seems like this is there for us to remember who we are, and this is there for us to remember love, because one of the first things that's gonna happen when you take psilocybin mushrooms, you're first of all gonna have love. One of my trips, not one of my trips, almost all my trips, especially I'm talking about the ones that are 5 grammers and above, okay? I remember one of my trips, as soon as it really hit me, I sat down and I kept writing love, 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 like on a piece of paper, like a crazy maniac. I kept writing love, 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 and drawing hearts and love, 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 everything. And this is what I was writing, right? Very gibberish, very childish, but I was writing everyone is love, everything is love, I am love, everything is love, I love everyone, I love me, I love trees, I love this apartment, I love, I love, I love, and I kept really, really like this. And like, where is that coming from? You know what? I ate 5 grams of this thing, and this is happening. Really? Like, where is that coming from? You know, and what is the other purpose then? Then this is for us to eat it. Then this is for us to remember who we are. This is for us to use as a tool to advance, to evolve our consciousness as individual souls, coming back to source, coming back to oneness, coming back to unity, coming back to our true nature as a one consciousness, experiencing itself subjectively and loving everyone. You know, because you're still subjective, you're still experiencing the subjective thing, right? And so if you want to unite with everyone, then love everyone. And so yeah, where is that coming from? You know, because it's not just me. Like it seems like most people, 90% of people who, maybe more, I would say, who encounter psilocybin mushrooms come back with this message of love. Like, hey, love everyone, love yourself, love everybody. And it causes these, feelings of empathy and compassion and care for the environment, right? So many people after they try mushrooms, they feel like they say, oh wow, I care more for the environment. I'm more aware of my surroundings. I'm more conscious, right? That's really what it is. You're more conscious of your true nature. You're more conscious of who you really are, and yeah, you feel more love. So I think that's the purpose of psilocybin mushrooms. I think the purpose for them, we're supposed to eat these things. We're supposed to because they're gonna remind us of who we are, and they're gonna help us evolve our consciousness, because that's the next step now. The next step is to realize that it's evolution of consciousness that we're talking about now, okay? Clearly the physical universe, the physical earth is designed to evolve, but as above, so below. I would say the reason why this earth evolves and nature is designed to evolve is because in the above realms, on a spiritual level, evolution, on a consciousness level, the consciousness is designed to evolve from a single thing, a totally individual stream of consciousness, to a oneness, back to source. And so as a result, as above, so below, the physical is also designed to evolve. So nature is designed to evolve. And, that's, I think, the purpose of it. And I think the reason why it's, so penalized and really, it's stigmatized, man. I was talking to bus drivers the other day. I love talking to bus drivers. I think they're one of the coolest people. And I mentioned, I'm a loudmouth. I really don't give a fuck, right? So I always mention, I tell people, like, not very long after I meet them, that, hey, like, I experiment with LSD and I drop acid and I do mushrooms if I feel like the conversation is gonna go down that route. And they had this, again, negative stigma, negative stereotype. They thought that acid fucks up your brain and stuff. And I was trying to explain to them, I was like, no, man, like, this is propaganda. No, it doesn't do all of that. Because a lot of people are under this, most people, I would say, are under this assumption, this propaganda, this mass brainwashing, that if you drop acid, you're gonna fucking go psycho, you're gonna go wacko, you're gonna go insane, and it's gonna fry your brain. And mushrooms do the same thing, So I think the reason why they're so heavily stigmatized and penalized is because some streams of consciousness out there, mind you, they're also the God thing, are playing the role of policing, and they don't want consciousness to evolve. Because they're lost. Their consciousness is lost. They're so lost in individuality and separation. And mind you, everybody eventually finds their way back home. It's just that right now, they're lagging behind. These God consciousness, these individual consciousness that are don't want consciousness to evolve because of fear, because they're scared to evolve, because they're scared of who they really are. They ban it, right? I think that's why. But I'm optimistic because now it's becoming, more accepted, and that's the first step. The first step is not. It's not legalizing them, but it's having people in society be more open-minded to them. And I can tell you this as somebody who's a loudmouth, as somebody who's very, I'm one of the most vocal people about my psychedelic use. And I'm not just talking about in videos. I'm talking about in real life. Like I get in frequent conversations with people about psychedelics, and I always tell people about my experiences, and I'm surprised by the level of open-mindedness that's out there now. I'm surprised by people knowing about psychedelics a lot more than if you had this conversation 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I can guarantee you that for sure. And the fact that they're thinking about legalizing it in California, yeah, I think we're making some progress, because we are here to evolve. Whether these people that don't want to evolve like it or not, they're here to evolve too. So that's my theory on the purpose of psilocybin mushrooms. God bless you all, guys, and may the spirit of, and when I said psilocybin mushrooms, I meant psychoactive mushrooms, right? But psilocybin is the most common one. Anyway, guys, God bless you all, and may the spirit of all the mushrooms, psychoactive and non-psychoactive, be with you wherever you are, and help you with the evolution of your consciousness. Whether you want to ingest them or not, they can help you from afar. Okay? And that's it. I love everyone. I love every single one of you guys, because you are me and I am you. But don't forget to subscribe, or you're gonna sleep with the fishes. You're gonna become one with the fishes. So subscribe.